Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Howdy. Everybody good? I'm so excited and grateful to be here. Wow, that's really bright. I'm so excited and grateful to be here with you guys. And my commitment to you is our time together. I'm going to make sure that it's engaging, it's fun, and inspiring. Is that good? All right. So one of my favorite movies growing up watching was Sister Act 2. You love it? Okay, I'm going to test you real quick. My favorite scene is when Whoopi Goldberg is trying to teach the class about life. And she writes up this quote on the board, and the class goes something like, if you want to be somebody, you know this? If you want to go somewhere, there's a show off. You better wake up and, oh, you lie, girl. Oh, let's go. If you want to be somebody, you sound good. If you want to go somewhere, you better what? Wake up and pay attention, right? Every single one of us here want to be somebody. If you knew that today was your last day, you would want to be remembered as somebody that did something, somebody that gave something, somebody that became something and left something behind. True? Right? So, yeah, everybody here wants to be somebody, and we want to go somewhere. We're in a journey. We're constantly trying to be somewhere, hopefully somewhere better. What are you trying to be somewhere better with? A better relationship with God, better relationship with your spouse, better relationship with your child, new business, take your business to the better situation or work on your craft. We're always trying to be somewhere, right? So what do we got to do? We got to wake up. That's the easy part. You open your eyes, you're awake. Some of y'all look like you need maybe 3 more cups of coffee, but that's okay. I'm not judging. I'll make sure to keep you awake. But the hard part is the second part, because that takes effort, that takes time, takes energy, and focus is to pay attention, right? Today, I'm going to share with you 4 things that I feel very strongly that we need to pay attention to. But before I get to the good stuff, I have 2 invitations, okay? Where's that slide, Andy? 2 invitations. The first one, there is an English author that said, there is power in writing things down. Written goals have a way of transforming wishes to wants, can'ts to cans, dreams to plans, and plans to reality. Don't just think it, ink it. Right? So my first invitation, if you have pen and paper, take it out. If you don't, that's okay. I know everybody has a phone. We're all entrepreneurs. Take out your notepad. My first invitation is write down any thoughts, ideas, or feelings that come to you during our time together. Write it down, because there's power in that. Okay, the second invitation, there's 2 QR codes right here. I don't know if you can scan it. It's my Facebook and my Instagram. Not only I want you to follow me, but more importantly, I want you to tag me and share something you wrote down today, because I want to learn from you. So we can both learn and we can both be edified. Good enough? Now let's get to the good stuff, the fun part. What do we have to pay attention to? Okay, I just picked up this $100 bill from the bank. It's fresh, it's crisp, it's real. Okay, it's as real as my wrinkles. Okay? By raise of hand, who wants his $100? Let's be honest. Everybody's hands should be up. We're entrepreneurs, we're hustlers, right? Oh, you're gonna have to play pickleball for that, sir. I like the action though. I love it. Right? Nobody wants to work for free, right? Okay, how about if I crumple it up? How about right now? Who still wants it? You sure? It's wrinkly. How about if I step on it? Who wants it? Who still wants it? I do. Why? We're about to be best friends, bro. I've always wanted to be best friends with a tall white guy. My dream's coming true today. Everybody wants it, right? Because even though it's crumbled up, even though it's stepped on, does it lose its value? Did the $100 become $98? Did it become $99? Is it sure did it become $50? Right? And I can go to any H-E-B, any Kroger, and I can buy $100 worth of goods. Yes? So the first thing I need you to pay attention to is how you view yourself, your value, and your self-worth. I need you to understand that. Whether you believe in God or not, I'm here to tell you that you are a beloved son or a daughter of a loving God. The King of Kings, more powerful than the King of England, the King of Tonga, where I'm from, any king on earth. And that in of itself, you know what that means? That means you have divine heritage. That means you have divine nature. That means you have divine potential. right? So no matter what you've been through in life, whatever challenges you've been through that you feel that you've been crumbled up, whether you're dealing with a sickness, a terminal illness, whether you're dealing with addictions, whether you're dealing with abuse, whether you've lost a job or lost a relationship, whatever it may be. Or maybe you feel unseen. Maybe you feel no matter what you do, you're just stepped on and you're just forgotten. Right? What I'm here to tell you, I'm going to keep this because you might come and steal it. My new best friend. What I'm trying to tell you, that all the pain and all the things that you felt have crumbled you or you've been stepped on does not ever diminish your value as a beloved son or a daughter of a living God. Ever. No matter what you do, no matter what people tell you, no matter what people comment or say on your Instagram or your Facebook, it doesn't change who you are. Right? And the minute that you understand that and you accept and you embrace it, you're going to not only impact your life, you're going to impact thousands, if not millions of people indirectly. When I was a sophomore in high school, I wanted to commit suicide because I felt unseen. I felt unheard. I felt unloved. I felt unneeded. And the funny thing was I was a popular kid in school. Right? But think about it. If I were to make that decision 25 years ago, I would have missed out on the most 5 beautiful kids that I could ever ask for. And the most amazing husband that any woman deserves. I feel every woman deserves a husband like mine. Don't take mine. I'm just saying you deserve someone like mine. Right? And then if I were to make that decision, think of all the people I have served, I have loved, I have helped in the last 25 years. Make sense? So you have got to understand that what you're going through or what you've been through or what you will go through does not diminish who you are. Who you are stays. Your worth and your value stays. Does not change. And you have to embrace and accept that. Because that's where you got to start. You got to start with yourself. Right? And then when you understand that, you're only going to impact your life. You're going to impact so many people. That's the first thing you got to pay attention to. The second thing you got to pay attention to is who you surround yourself with. Right? You got to figure out your inner circle. The 5 to 7 people that you talk to often. If those are the people, when you come up with a business idea, they're the first ones to say, man, that sucks. Every time you come up with an idea, they give you 10,000 reasons why you shouldn't do that. Oh, you can't do that. There's no way. What? What are you thinking? You crazy? You insane? If your inner circle is doing that, I might invite you to change that. Right? I might invite you to change it because it's so dangerous. Let me tell you why it's dangerous. Because not only are they not going to tell you your worth and your value, they're going to make you forget. Right? They're going to make you forget who you are. It's silly to think. Let's say an eagle, the most powerful bird in the sky, trying to walk around and waddle like a duck. No offense to the Affleck people. Right? It makes no sense for an eagle to try to be a dang duck. You're supposed to be up in the sky. Right? And if you're not careful who you surround yourself with, if the eagles hang out with the ducks, what's going to happen? He's going to start quacking. Right? So you have to pay attention to who you surround yourself with. You need to surround yourself with people that see you for who you are and tells you how amazing you are on the daily. They need to tell, man, you're so beautiful. Man, you're so handsome. I can't believe your work ethic is unmatched. Man, people just need to know you. You're so cool. Right? Those are the people that you need because they stimulate, they lift, they empower you. And even when you forget who you are and you're trying to quack, they're going to say, listen, man, you're an eagle. You need to soar. You got to remember who you are. Right? So, reassess your closest circle, who you surround yourself with. If you're dealing with the ones that shut you down, walk away, man. It's not worth it. If you're dealing with the ones that empower you, you better hold on tight because those come very rarely. The third thing I want you to pay attention to is how you invest your energy in the limited time that we have in this life. The only guarantee that we have is that we have a limited life. I just found out yesterday that one of my friends I grew up with passed away. Broke my heart. Left back kids that are my age. my kids' age. So until you and I take our last breath, we need to pay attention to what we invest our energy into, right? Everybody gets allotted 24 hours. That's about 8,760 hours a year. Right? 20% of it will probably be a lot to sleeping, because we all got to sleep. 10% would say maybe food. You know, food is important. For some of us, more than others. 70%, what are we investing our energy into? Are you investing into telling yourself you cannot do it? You cannot become? Or are you investing it into, yes, I can do it? I just borrowed this coin from my friend Jackie. If I'm flipping the coin, I have 50% of what? 50% chance of heads, 50% chance of tail. Right? I'm flipping the coin. The energy to flip the coin does not change. Right? So if the same energy required to be positive is the same energy required to be negative, why are we not veering towards the positive? I can guarantee that if you invest into being positive about yourself, your surrounding, and others, the result is going to be way better than if you're to invest in the negativity. Yes? And I can also guarantee that whatever reason you give yourself why you cannot do something, you can use that same reason to do something. When I decided to become a realtor in 2021, April of 2021, I ran into a friend at Sam's Club. She just moved into our church, and she said to me, "Are you a realtor?" "Ooh, I don't know. Do I look like one? Should I be one?" Right? So then we started talking about other things. When I got home, I Googled how to become a realtor in Houston, Texas. I didn't know anything about becoming a realtor. I didn't know anybody. And then I looked at the cost of Champions. I'm like, I'm cheap. I'm like, that's a little steep. Right? So I went to Groupon. Anybody know Groupon? Okay, you cheap like me too. I mean, we're frugal. Let me say, words are powerful. We're frugal. Right? So I go to Groupon and I found a class for $99. I'm like, you know what? I can lose $99. Let me just try it out. So I signed up. But guess what? The minute that people started hearing that I was interested to become a realtor, guess what happens? I get to hear all the reasons why I shouldn't be one. Man, everybody's cousin is a realtor. There's a gazillion. There's one in every block. How are you going to make yourself different? How are you going to stand out? Some of them are scammers. You don't need a realtor. Like, I heard it all. The funny thing is, it all came from people that aren't even realtors. And that's usually what happens, right? All the people that tell you you can't do something, guess what? They're not doing anything. So why are you even giving them, entertaining them, and giving them a minute of your day? Right? So I use the same reasons that people told me not to become a realtor to become one. So I took my test as fast as I could. I had to Google every single step. I kid you not. What do I do once I pass my exam? What do I do? It was crazy. So I joined Abbey Realty June 1st of 2021. And I asked a question to someone, and I said, "Hey, how long does it take for a realtor to make 6 figures?" She laughed at me. And she said, 3 years, so don't worry about it. Oh, okay. I used that same reason to make 6 figures in my first year. I think it took me 8 months. Because from June 1st to December 31st of 2021, I closed 15 deals. 7 of them were sales, 8 of them were rentals. I knew nothing about real estate, and I was only been here 2 years. Right? And then fall of 2021, we got a surprise pregnancy with my 5th child, my cute little Benji back there. It was the worst pregnancy. I mean, I was pregnant 7 times, and that one just knocked the wind out of me. I was so sick. I was so tired. My clients didn't know that in between showings, I would pull over and throw up. Clean myself up, put on a smile, and went and opened the door. Nobody knew. Do you think that's a good excuse to give up? Yeah, people are pretty understanding when you're pregnant and you're sick. Yeah, you don't have to do the showing. But you got to use the same reason to show up. Right? We're entrepreneurs. We give a commitment to our customers, and you have to have that. You have to show up. Fast forward to May of 2022, last year. We were in active labor, or I was. My husband was just there. His sexy self was just there smiling at me. I was in active labor, and one of my files, the option period was ending at 5 p.m. that day. and we haven't negotiated, you realtors know what I'm talking about. We haven't negotiated the things, the repairs. So in between contractions, I'm sitting on my bed. My husband can tell you the truth. I'm sitting with my computer. Even the nurses were like, ma'am, do you see the chart? You're in active labor. You need to put the computer away. And I said, yeah, I'm almost done. So the listing agent had no idea that I was literally talking to her in between contractions. So when the contractions came, I mute myself. She had no idea, right? We executed the amendment at 2:10, I think, and I gave birth at 3 o'clock. Like, I think being in active labor qualifies you for a good excuse, right? But my point is, you can use every excuse in this earth to not do and not show up. Same thing you can turn around to do and to show up. Right? I'm not promoting doing that while you're in active labor. It's no fun, I can tell you that much. It hurts. Right? But we have to show up. Right? So, the fourth thing that I want us to pay attention to, let me check my time. Is somebody checking the timer? Okay. The fourth thing that I wanted you to pay attention to is, what is it that's holding you back from reaching your fullest potential? What is it? Right? I'm going to tell a story. So there's this wise man who was traveling with his student. And they travel and they're so tired, they come into this shack. There was nobody else around. They're like, let's just go ask them. So they knock on the door. The father opens the door. And they said, hey, we're really hungry, we're tired. Can we just rest here for a little bit? Can you share your meal? This is a little shack, right? So all they had was milk and cheese, right? And the wise man asked the father, how are you guys surviving, being so far away from everybody? The father says, we have this cow. We have this cow that provides enough milk for us to support ourselves, and then we save some and we barter for the things that we need. Then the wise man and his student said, okay, thank them for their hospitality, and they move on with their journey. Not too far from leaving the house, the wise man stopped and told the student, listen, I need you to go back. I need you to go back, take the cow, walk it over to the cliff and push it over. And the student was confused, perplexed, almost angry. Like, what is this unloving instructions I'm hearing? But he had to follow. So he goes, takes the cow, walks the cow over to the cliff and pushes the cow over. Then they move on with their journey. Years later, the student, being filled with guilt, he says, man, I got to go back. I got to make it right. I got to make amends. So he goes back to where the shack was, and guess what was there? A huge mansion. Right? So he goes and knocks on the door, confused. Same guy that opened the shack is the one opening the mansion. And he says, what happened? Where did this all come from? And the father says, funny thing. Somebody took a cow that we relied on and killed it. And because we didn't have the cow anymore, we had to discover and develop our gifts and our talents that we know that we didn't have, and it made us so much money. And now we're wealthy. What's the story? I'm not saying go kill every cow. That's not what I'm saying. You have to identify the cows in your life. It could come up as self-doubt. It could come up as fear of failure. It could even come up as perfectionism, people-pleasing. Whatever it may be, that's the cow in your life. I need you to identify the cow, walk it to the cliff, so to speak, and kill the cow. And why is it important for us to do that? Because whatever is holding you back is imprisoning you in a shack, holding you back from your fullest potential, getting your mansion, right? And that shack could be emotional shack. That could be social shack. It could be literally physical shack. Whatever is holding you back, you have got to identify that. And you've got to let it go. I think the biggest cow is a fear of failure. I hear that so many times. Why haven't you done it? I'm just afraid to fail. It's going to fail. I have never met one successful person that has not failed. How you view failure makes a difference. It's in your failure that you learn. Like even like electricity. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times. 1,000 times before he got the light bulb. Imagine if Thomas Edison quit on the 998th failure. You want to be like, ooh, that's bad lighting with your selfie. Just imagine that. Starbucks, Mr. Schultz, he applied with 242 banks. Denied. The owner of Starbucks. He finally got his funding from a doctor and 2 other investors. And now there's 30,000 plus Starbucks in the world. For all you coffee lovers, I know 1, 2. Imagine your life without Starbucks. Imagine if he gave up on the 240th bank. Right? So you have to understand that there is so much possibilities that you can achieve. But you are not killing the cow. Right? So let's review the 4 things we got to pay attention to. First, you got to pay attention to how you view yourself, your self-worth, and your value. You are a son or a daughter of a king, which means you have divine nature, divine potential, divine heritage. You have been endowed with gifts and talents particularly for you. You've been endowed with it. You just got to take the time to find it and develop it. I know that for a fact that everybody has gifts and talents. Right? And you got to use the talents and the gifts that you're given, because the funny thing is you discover yourself and you become better as you serve other people. And as business owners, that's how you make money. The more people you serve. You find a problem that serves the mass, you solve it, boom, you got money. That's the first thing. Pay attention to how you view yourself, how you talk to yourself on the daily. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Tell yourself you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're one of a kind. Because you are. There's nobody else like you. Why do you think your fingerprint is not the same with anybody else? Because there's only one of you. Even identical twins don't share fingerprints. It's meant to be like that. Right? You're unique for a reason. Embrace it. That's exactly what I told myself when people say, what's going to make you different when you become a realtor? There's no other Mele, that's what. And I'm going to show up. Right? But because I made the decision to become a realtor, I've also helped other business owners with their business. The lender, the inspector, all the appraiser, the title, right? So you have to understand that your decision isn't just impacting you. It impacts a lot more people than you. My parents have 11 kids. I'm number 10. Obviously, I'm the best looking one. Out of us 10, we have given our parents about 80 grandkids. Out of the 80 grandkids, about 32 plus great-grandkids. Somebody's always giving birth, so I lost count. Right? My decision that my parents made, my parents' story, it's a true rags to riches story. They used to live in a swamp, couldn't afford anything. And they were able to build up to, I think probably the first multimillionaires in my country, self-made. But their decisions impacts my son. So that's number 1. Number 2, pay attention to who you surround yourself with. they're either going to make or break you. Because if they make you forget who you are, they're already winning. If they make the ego think that he's a duck, they're winning. I feel like that's the only thing you got to remember from this speech is the eagle and the duck. Go Affleck. Right? Number 3, pay attention to what you invest your energy in this limited time. Life is so short. Life is so short. Why not invest your energy in loving yourself and being positive and telling yourself that you can do it and you will become? Amen? Life is so short. And 4th, you have to pay attention to what are you allowing yourself to hold you back. What is the excuse? What is the cow that you need to kill? Find that and kill the cow. Chick-fil-A will like that. Right? Because what I do know is that God has a purpose for you. He has a purpose for you. And if you invest the time and energy in discovering the gifts and the talents he has given you, you're going to make a difference. And you're going to be remembered as somebody when you take your last breath. I know that. We cannot allow other people or circumstances to make us define that that's who we are. That's not who you are. We already discovered that on the first step. And if there's anything that I want you to remember other than the duck, the eagle, and the cow, I want you to remember who you are, who you truly are. And that's going to make all the difference. No matter what business you're in. No matter what business you're in. I can sell anything. Shoot, I can sell chairs. It don't matter. Put me in any business. You know why? Because I understand my worth and my value. I understand what I bring to the table. And sometimes we might need to do that for other people. I think that's the most fulfilling part. The most fulfilling part is once you understand and accept who you are, you're able to turn around to your neighbor and you say, listen, you are so good at doing this. Like nobody can do this like you. You have a gift. You have a talent. Like you cannot pay me enough. I can't bake anything. Like I will burn it. I will kill every plant I will try to plant. It's just not my talent. It's just not my talent. But I can sing. I can harmonize with anybody as long as you don't sing off. Right? So what we do is sometimes, or a lot of times, we compare our weaknesses to their strengths. We're pretty good at doing that. Right? Especially with the social media frenzy that we have, where everybody looks perfect and the lighting and the filter is good. We sit there and like, man, I wish I had that. I wish I was that good looking. I wish I had that car. I wish I was that gifted at talking. I wish I was a good singer. But what you don't understand is you are usually comparing what you're not good at to something that they're really good at. Who here plays basketball? Actually, Kobe Lewis plays basketball. My favorite Kobe. Other than Kobe Bryant. Like, Kobe is pretty good at basketball. But what do you think is his chance of winning against Michael Jordan? Simple. But there are things that Kobe does that I cannot do. So it will make no sense for Kobe to compare his level to Michael Jordan when he knows that Michael Jordan, he's up here. Right? So what I'm going to invite all of us to do, I'm going to wrap this up. Find your gift and your talent that God has endowed you with. Invest the time in developing it. And then invest the time in serving other people. Because it's in serving other people that you discover who you are and you become better. If you trying to discover your gifts and your talents for selfish reasons, I'm going to guarantee to you, it's a dead end. Even if you become really rich because of that, you're going to be empty inside. Yes? Each of you are amazing in your own way. Your uniqueness, embrace it. That's it. Thank you so much, y'all.